I got a video project that I need to work on here, but I think I'm going to have to clean the bench off first. It's going to be kind of hard to get work done on that. Now it's starting to look like a workbench again. Still got some work to do, though. So here is our project machine for tonight, which is honestly probably not even worth half that price. However, it does have some components in it that are definitely well worth this on their own. I have taken the doors out from the bottom, namely the RAM door, and yes, this thing does in fact have dual hard drives. It's also kind of dirty, you're going to have to get some of that off. But you get 2 hard drives. So what I know about this is that it's got 3 gigabytes of memory, which is an upgrade. Obviously they didn't really concern themselves with using matched memory modules. But it's got 3 gigs of RAM and 2 dual 120 gigabyte Fujitsu hard drives, which are serial ATA, so those are actually pretty valuable. Low capacity, really serial ATA drives of any kind are fairly valuable, at least to me. It's got a Windows XP COA over there, which somebody has done their level best to completely ruin. But this is, if we go ahead and have a look at the sticker, this is an HP Pavilion dv9000. There's a serial number. It's a dv9040 US. Which is interesting. Maybe this was a US model? I'm not really sure. But what I do know otherwise about it is that it is bloody heavy, and I really don't know why it's so heavy. I mean, it's just your average mid to late 2000s laptop. The only thing that would make it remotely heavy is the fact that it's got 2 hard drives in it, and I don't know, I've got my doubts that 2 hard drives would make it weigh probably about 3 times as much as a similar sized laptop. In fact, I've got an HP G60 up there that's pretty similar in construction to this, and like I said, it probably weighs about a quarter of what this does. My apologies for it being upside down, but they call this the HP Pavilion Entertainment PC. Because this probably would have been the highest end laptop a consumer could buy from HP back when it was brand new. I think anything better than this and you'd be going into their business line. If we take a look at it, it's pretty full featured. We have a Wi-Fi switch here. Come on, focus. There's your indicators, power, charge, and hard drive. You only get 1 hard drive indicator, which I guess applies to both drives. There's this thing here, I'm not entirely sure what its purpose is. It's got a Wi-Fi symbol beside it, though. Got microphone, headphone, and what looks like actually an SPDIF digital audio. Oh no, I take that back. No, it's got dual headphone outputs. But it is labeled SPDIF, so I don't know, is that a digital headphone output? Probably, that would be my guess. I've never really seen a laptop that had 2 headphone outputs. I mean, I've seen a headphone and a line, but that's usually found on vintage machines, but I've never seen dual headphone outputs on a laptop. That's pretty interesting. It actually has a latch for the screen, which is nice. And if we go ahead and flip it around here, well, that was an interesting detour. But anyway, we have an SD card reader here. Well, it's SD memory stick, Pro, multimedia card, and XD card reader. So that's not too bad. There's a FireWire 400. I believe they call that 1394B. The smaller 4-pin connection. Doesn't carry power like the 6-pin ones do. 2 USB ports, an HDMI output, modem, Ethernet, expansion port 3. I don't know what that means. Some proprietary expansion port is all I can fathom. We've got the VGA, S-video output, and somewhat interestingly, the Kensington lock is actually on the latch, and it moves with the... Well, I can't really show you, can I? Well, I can, if I can with one hand. It moves with the display, which is fairly unique, I think. It's nothing but a cooling vent on the back there. If we go ahead and flip this around, which is not easy to do with one hand, because it is so heavy. On this side, we get the power supply input, another USB port, Here is our DVD drive. LightScribe capable DVD, RW, and it does support dual layer discs. This, I believe, is an express... Yes, that's an express card slot. I don't know if you'll be able to actually see inside there. Not really, and clearly I need to clean the lens on this camera again. And one more USB port. Alright, so that is pretty much it for that. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so we can take a look at the insides here, which is easier said than done. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is just, well, you can see the ugly guy operating the camera as well as the camera itself. So, people who keep asking me what camera I use to record my videos, here's your answer. I'm using this one to record this video. But anyway, it's got a nice keyboard. I mean, it's not the best or anything like that, but fairly decent in the realm of keyboards. Pretty standard trackpad with a lock key here. Wireless. HP Pavilion Entertainment PC. Alright, it's got a little 1.3 megapixel webcam up here, which is amusing. So basically 640 by 480, and probably not really worth having either way. It's a power switch here. You get a couple of hotkeys, well, more than a couple hotkeys, mostly related to media. I think they're touch sensitive as well. They're not actual buttons. And this is a fairly interesting thing here, a slider to control the volume level. I don't know if you can go like this, or if you have to actually use the plus and minus. But either way, it's got the Altec Lansing speaker system. Now, here comes the fun part. Does it work? Well, I don't know. And I don't even know if we're going to get to figure that out, because I don't know if I got a proper power supply for this, because it uses I think it was 17.5 volts. Which is a pretty oddball voltage, but I'll see if I've got something in my stock that'll actually work. Well, this is rated at 19 volts, so I'm pretty sure this is not good and a good thing to do to this laptop. But it is working, as you can see. So, it's even charging the battery. How uptown is that? Supposedly. I don't know if the battery's actually any good. So let's push the power switch and see what it does. Let me get all the lights lighting up. Display comes on. Cool. F10. Oh, I think I missed it. Aha! Look at this. Somebody has definitely upgraded it. We'll take a look at that in a minute. I want to go into setup here. If it will actually let me go into setup. F10 to enter setup. Here we go, Phoenix BIOS. The date and time is correct. dv9000. It's a Core2 Duo T5500 at 1.66 GHz. 3 gigs of RAM. So, not bad. Not bad at all. No security. That's kind of funny. AHCI is turned on. CPU C4 function. I used to know what that meant, but I forget now. Doesn't seem to really say much about the hard drives. Run diagnostics on them, but we can't actually tell what they are from the system setup utility. So I need to find, it's right here. Whoops. Oh, my apologies for that. It's probably showing it all zoomed in. Anyway, I've got my little USB stick with Ultimate Boot CD on it. Or I guess it's Ultimate Boot USB stick, right? Let's see if it'll actually start to it. I believe the escape key is used to change the boot options. That's what I want to do. Now there's the two fixed disks. C's USB 2.0. USB hard drive. Let's see what kind of health status these drives are in. See if they're both bad or what. Which would probably be about my luck. Well, they both have errors. So let's see. How bad is this one? Reallocation event count. funny, it doesn't actually tell me. That's rather loud, actually. None of them actually have values. Well, that's interesting. What's the case with this one? Is it the same deal? Yeah, same deal. So they don't actually have values. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Well, anyway. So we'll get our chance to see what this thing actually boots into. Completely unrehearsed. So let's see what happens. Could be malware. Oh, it could be infected with like WannaCry or something like that. Starting Windows. Yay. I wonder what version of Windows 7 this actually is. Because it's got a Windows, like I said, it's a Windows XP Media Center Edition COA on the bottom. I don't know if the battery actually is any good. Windows 7 Professional. And no password. Why am I not surprised? So I might have to stop the video here depending upon what this does. I'm not going to win any speed records. I'm not going to keep this Windows install anyway just because I don't know what's going on with it. What the hell? Okay, far be it from me to make comments with respect to somebody's visual proficiency when it comes down to using a computer. But you've got to really be visually impaired to... I mean, like, look at the size of these icons. And, like, there's two computer icons, one right on top of the other. Same deal with Google Chrome. We got two Google Chromes in the desktop. I don't know. I really don't know. How big is this? Let's make this a little bit more sane. I think that's probably a good idea. Looks like it's got Office 2010 on it. I doubt it's legal. I can't actually see what I'm doing. Is there brightness control on this somewhere? Yes. Let's turn that up. There's no reason for that to be turned all the way down. Let's set this back to, you know, sane defaults. It sounds like a good idea. Oh, it wants me to log off. So I guess I'll get to find out if there actually is a password set. We definitely felt the need to set their own theme. Me. That's awesome. Okay, there is definitely no password set. Alright, well, we're kind of in the same territory. Distributel web something or another. I can't actually read that. What does that say? Distributel webmail. Never really heard of them, but alright. View large icons. Medium icons. I don't remember what the standard is. I think it was medium icons. Yeah, it's medium icons is the standard. And obviously auto arrange is not turned on. Let's fix that. That's much better. It's driving me insane, even though I'm not keeping this Windows install anyway. Alright, so let's see. What have we got for a drive situation going on here? Well, to be honest with you, it looks like this is a pretty clean installation of Windows. So let's have a look. Windows 7 Professional. Service Pack 1. 32-bit, which is disappointing. Apparently it is activated. I'm not so sure I'd buy that. Probably use a crack or something like that. Apparently the CPU is the worst part of the entire system. This thing has, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's got the NVIDIA GeForce Go 7600 graphics. If I remember right, that's a G73 silicon-based chip. I guess we could find out of the audio here. Yeah, no, it's... doesn't even really work that well. But anyway. So it's not a slider, it's actually buttons. I don't know if that particular chip was affected by the BGA cracking problem, but either way, it is still working here. So my plan for this, if it actually happens to turn out, is what I'm probably going to do is I'll put an SSD in here, replace one of the 120 gig hard drives, and the other 120 gig hard drive is going to be replaced with a 500, and I'm going to use this to replace the Asus M51E as a laptop for using as the portable low-end radio rig for outdoor shows and whatnot. Just because it's a fairly decent, little machine. I mean, it's not a high-performance rig by any stretch of the imagination. I do see something very, very legitimate over here. I'm sure that's definitely going to work properly. But anyway, this thing's probably filled with malware. But I don't know. It looks like a fairly clean installation of Windows. I'm going to go ahead and open up Word. See if there's any signs of anything on here. Product activation failed. This copy of Office is not activated. Alright, let's just close that and see if I can see if there's anything interesting to look at, if that actually happens to work. But it looks like, for the most part, they're restoring their data on USB sticks. At least for Word. I don't know about for other applications. 2017, probably around the last time this laptop was used. So, I don't know. What's this? There's not much in the downloads for me to look at. There's a .cache from YouTube DL. Huh. So apparently whoever had this actually knew what they were doing. And they deleted their documents. Or had somebody delete their documents for them, because it doesn't look like they've left anything behind for me to snoop around in. Yeah, this looks like a fairly blank installation of Windows here. Probably last used around, what is that? November 14th, 2017. So, there you go. Whoops. I think this mouse is kind of messed up. Or there's malware hijacking it or something like that. Let's see. Action Center. Find an antivirus program online. Yeah, there's probably malware all over this thing. So, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the boot and nuke. And what I'll probably do in the next video of this particular laptop is I will go ahead and probably install. I got two of those Apacer industrial SSDs. I don't think they're industrial, but those Apacer SSDs, I have two of them left. So I'll probably install one of those in the 500 gig hard drive and get this thing ready to go for that purpose. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else I can share with you on this video. So that's going to conclude it. It's already almost up at 20 minutes unedited. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'll have to test the battery to see if it actually works. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.